Live from Resting Punk Face Studio. This is the
Punk
and Preppy Show. Welcome to. Love our cheering section. Welcome to a very special episode. This is episode 7.
It is lucky 7.
Lucky 7, and we are lucky today to spend some time with Peter Johnson, our phenomenal friend and artist from Ireland.
Thank you, Pete, so much. We are honored. And you made a joke during our interview to say, well, I said, thank you so much. We're so honored that you chose us. Well, you guys were the only ones that asked. No, that's not true. Like, we were not the only ones. But thank you so much. And we love you. And getting to know you has been such a pleasure. And I can't wait to meet you and your family live. We want to do a cheers. I know your favorite beer, I have it right here, is this guy. And I have to tell you, I tried really, really hard to get it here in the States. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to. So we're going to cheers with our favorite Irish beer. And nothing against Guinness, because we love a good Guinness.
But the original Irish ale.
So we love a good Smittix.
Will be Smittix.
So cheers to everyone.
Yeah.
And thank you, Pete. And we are so excited. So everybody, drink up.
Everyone,
you probably already are. You guys got good timing over there.
So buckle your seatbelts. And
so I just want to mention real quickly, the last song that you were listening to, if you were watching during the countdown, by the way, that was the most viewership we've had in a countdown ever. So thank you, Pete. Thank you for all the radio stations. I'm going to do some plugs in a little bit. But the last song was Thomas the Tank Engine, and it featured their original drummer, Paul, a.k.a. Rat. And Rat, that was recorded at Rat's house, and he was the original drummer for Rumble. And we're gonna talk all about Rumble. We're gonna talk about Pete's career. And so some of this is pre-recorded, but we're gonna pop in between. We're gonna play a lot of videos. Some we haven't played on Punk and Preppy yet. Yep. And so we should just get started, right?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get right into it.
Let me just say hi to a couple of people that are tuning in. Hi, Robbie. Hi, David. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Boz. Hi, Steven. Hi, everyone that's here. Thank you so much. Cheers. And let's get started with Pete's journey. Thank you, Pete.
I've been making music for a long time, and some of the things I was involved in, we did quite well, and we had a bit of success and stuff like that. But it's unusual to get especially people from America as well. It's kind of exotic and it's lovely, you know what I mean, to know that I'm being noticed. So thanks very much. You really
oh my gosh, you probably already know this, Peter, but you are an exceptional talent. My gosh.
No, stop.
Oh no, I mean really, like, of all the stuff we've been watching, I personally love your stuff the most. I really do. It's uplifting, and that's the great thing about it.
There's lots of stuff there. That's the good thing. And what was good as well is because you give me a bit of a kick in the arse as well to go and put some of the stuff off cassette tape onto CD or digitize it. Like like that Peel session is just lying there.
It's amazing.
I don't know how it didn't go missing, to be honest with you. But
I'm glad you had it.
I was delighted when I heard it. Like, it's got so much energy in it. There's so many stories. Like, look, I've been playing music, as I've said to you before, since I've been 15. I was brought up in a house that was musical. My father he died unfortunately when he was 52, so he died quite young, but he was a musician all his life. And really what happened to him was he played in a lot of cover bands. And he loved music, but he slowly began to hate music, which was horrible, because he was playing in cover, like just pub bands, in a cover band. He wasn't creating, and he was very creative. And I saw him become, he hated music at the end. You know what I mean? The last couple of years of his life, he really didn't like music. And I thought, I'm never going to let that fucking happen to me, So from then on, I said, right, I'm just going to play originals. I'm just like I know kind of a handful of kind of cover versions, but so I'm pretty useless at a party, really. Like if I pull out the guitar, it's my stuff or nothing you're getting. Like,
right.
you know?
Well, your stuff blows all the covers away. So.
So yeah, so I mean that's it. That'll be interesting because I mean, like I was in a band, the Works for a long time. We started when we were 15, and we practiced every day for years. I mean,
that's dedication. Yeah.
Well, it was, and we didn't even know why we were doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you had a little bit of a dream of becoming famous or something like that, but really it was just about something to do,
Yeah.
Because we weren't really, none of the lads that were in the band were interested in sports or anything like that. So every day we practiced for hours and hours. So we got quite good enough. And then from watching, one of the things my father taught me though was his professionalism was unbelievable. So things like basic stuff like having the guitars in tune,
right.
Making sure you've got a set, making sure that what's happening during the set, making all these things like you were saying there earlier on, Matt, like having little surprises throughout your set, all that stuff that the band really got from him, but so that was that band. Then that band was kind of like, we didn't know what we were doing. You probably heard that little song I sent over to you.
The one for the field.
No, Hey, it's
Hey, yes, yeah. I did hear it. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
We're only about 16 there,
It's really good.
But I mean, we didn't know what we were doing.
I said, hey, where did you get that smile? Why don't you come a while and we'll make love tonight, la. I said, hey, where did you get that rose and Mary smile? Why don't you run a mile and we'll make love tonight like we did last night?
I have to say, Pete, you guys knew what you were doing. You certainly did. And we're so grateful for it. And thank you so much again for everyone tuning in. I want to say hi to everyone in Dundalk. Did I say it right? I started to get your accent, Pete. It was really funny. Like, I'm watching a lot of our video together, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'll have it down when I come visit. So we're going to say a cheers real quick to everyone that is local to Bethlehem, PA, because we started Music Fest. And Pete and I have been chatting about Music Fest, and we're hoping that him and Robbie and Helen will come out and we'll be able to play a show with Resting Punk Face. So hopefully you will be able to get here, and as long as the restrictions are better, and we'll play a show together. So yay!
Looking forward to that.
So the next part. If you're just tuning in, we're doing this in sections, and we're going to come in and talk a little bit, and we're also going to play a lot of videos in between. Lots of them that we haven't showcased yet on Punk and Preppy.
Right.
So we're really excited. We have some new ones that we haven't shown yet. So we're going to go to the next one. And Pete, you're so commanding of the stage at such a young age, and your lyrics are so mature. Your presence is amazing, and then you show your youthful innocence at the end of the video, and it's just so. I just love your wave. Oh, it just. So precious. So we're going to go into the next section of the interview, and it starts with a wonderful video that they did live. Rumble did live. It's called Edge of Nowhere.
They have a bright future, we think, with a track from their recently released album, Edge of Nowhere. Would you welcome, please, Rumble?
Why don't you call me? I'll be there. I'll rip my jeans and dye my hair. I'll pierce my nose and I'll be there on the edge of nowhere. Why can't you tell me I'm the one? Come here always having fun. You're always hanging with the bums on the edge of nowhere. You're always telling me you're enemies. You're always falling, but you can't impress. I'm not your type of you like. So take me to a place I know. It's always beautiful to go. It's only common sense to go on the edge of nowhere. You snort some coke with me 'cause you're not shy. We'll have a drink and then you'll have some guy. I'd like to break it with your words so I could say, and that's all, and that's all, and that's all, and that's all. Now having fun is all I know. It's always beautiful to go. It's only common sense, you know. On the edge of nowhere, the edge of nowhere, the edge of nowhere, on the edge of nowhere.
Well done to you. That was Rumble there with Edge of Nowhere, taken from their debut album on the Dead Elvis label.
So Robbie, the bass player, my best friend now. Like, I didn't meet Robbie till I was about 19, so he was about 29.
Okay.
And then he joined. The works thing kind of split up, and then he joined, and we had a little band called Little Alex. It was called a little punk rock thing. And then we formed Rumble, which was Gerard from the works went on to guitar, and then Robbie was on bass, and then I was on guitar and vocals, and then we got a guy called Kieran Quigley who was on drums, and they were all brilliant musicians. Kieran on drums was he's just awesome, like, you know, unbelievable.
All of you, such stage presence. That Rumble video, just wow.
Yeah, it's cool. All right.
Yeah.
I think we just because of the years and years and years of doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of we just kind of it's practice, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like anything. If you want to get good at something, it's just practice over and over. And then I think, again, having my father there, you know, down through the years, like, I mean, I'd have gone on tours with him and stuff, and you know, I as a little kid, like, I'd have seen how bands are put together and how it all works, you know. So so then, look, we got signed when we were in Rumble. We were playing gigs here and there. We were playing in Dublin. We got signed by a record label who were just together, called Dead Elvis, and they were like us. They were only about 22, but they were very clever. They're still very clever guys.
It's a great name.
Yeah, Dead Elvis. Yeah, and they signed a lot of bands. They were, at one stage, they were the biggest label in the EU export. Yeah, and they were only kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. So so like it was a really, really fun time. Like, it was so much fun. It was remarkably fun. Like, it was, I think what made it so much fun was we're all, and we're still today, great friends. I don't remember us having one argument, and like, bands normally argue.
Right. Yeah.
You know. We just went on this kind of little adventure, like, you know, and that
comes across to the audience. You can tell when bands are liking one another up there, as opposed to having arguments, like when you can't even look at each other, and you know, and you're going through the motions of it. But you can tell, you can see that.
You certainly can, you know.
Yeah.
But I started to live with one of the lads from Dead Elvis Records. Og Crudden is his name. So that's O, and there's a fada on it. So it's Irish land. It means young.
Okay.
OG, original gangster. Never thought of that before. But no, look, when we were back in the Rumble days, then, like, as I said, we were only kids, and I kind of joined the label for a while and helped them out as well. Actually, so then we made our first album, Raped, Killed and Left for the Buzzards, it was called. And Mark, that's with Jake the Muss is on that. Mark Carlin produced that. And you know Muse, you know the band Muse?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well, he's their main sound engineer today now.
Wow.
Yeah. So he still lives in Dundalk, in Black Rock, actually. which is a little village where I come from up beside the sea, but like helicopters land in his back garden and take him off to do gigs and stuff, like, you know. But he's really down to earth. Like he's a good guy, but he's a great sound engineer as well. So obviously, because, you know, he did a fantastic job on that album. And then what happened to Dead Elvis was they had a band called Wormhole. And they sold that band to Sony for $100,000.
Okay.
Like this, like think about it, like 22-year-old kids next thing will get $100,000 for selling a band, like.
Right.
So and then they signed loads of other bands, and so one night, anyway, one interesting story was one night I was I started, basically, I better say this, I started going out with one of the girls that was living in the house with the Elvis. And so we started living in the house anyway. So one morning I woke up and the phone was ringing. They had a little office, and Og was an awful man for getting drunk, and he'd never wake up early. So the phone was ringing anyway in this office. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. So I went down, I answered the phone. I says, hello. And the voice back was, hello, it's John Peel here. Can I speak to old Crudden? And at the time, I hadn't a clue who John Peel was. You know? I was just like, John Peel, is it? Yeah, okay, right, okay. One second. Well, then I said, go, there's a fella on the phone for you. He's like, who is it? I said, John Peel. He was like, he knew who he was. You know? He was like, John Peel. So we hopped up. So he was a bit of a genius on the phone, Og. He spent about 2 hours on the phone. And after the phone call was over, he came in, he said, guess what? I said, well, he says, next week we're going over to do the Peel session.
Wow.
Which was just unbelievable. Yeah. Man. Like, it was BBC Studios, and it was very surreal. You know, the way there's this kind of a caricature image of London rock and rollers where it's like, all right, yeah, down a Hammersmith Palais, and then Clapton Commons and all that. It was so much that, like at one stage I remember it was exactly like what you think it would be like. Like at one stage I remember I was doing a lead bit on my guitar and I finished, and the producer goes, Clapton wouldn't do it that good.
Nice.
What a great thing. Oh.
Yeah. But like they were just so professional. The guy that did the Peel session, he was a Sikh, and he had a bright blue turban on and lovely bright blue robes, and he just looked amazing. And he was the main sound engineer for Live Aid as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he took me over to a piano and he says, look, have a look at this piano. He's the last person to play that piano was what do you call you, man? Do you know that song, that Christmas song? Oh, rup-a-pum-pum.
Little Drummer Boy?
Yeah, who David Bowie did that with.
David Bowie, yeah.
Who did he do that with?
Bing Crosby?
Bing fucking Crosby.
Yeah.
Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
Bing Crosby was the last person to play this piano.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. That's big.
So then we were like being hounded, not hounded, but lots of A&R men from big record labels were coming to see us, and we did a good few shows in London, and it just felt like this is building into something here that's going to break. You know what I mean? And there was this show in the UK called The Word was the name of it. It was a TV show, and a lot of big bands got broken on the TV show, you know?
Yeah.
So this guy, this one particular guy, what was his name now? Steve, I can't remember his second name now. He had a tattoo of a star on his ear, which was unusual back in them days. People didn't really have that many tattoos, but he basically was saying, it was all, you know, he's like, oh, you're gonna be fucking rich, you're gonna be famous, all this kind of crap. You know? And he says, I have this slot on the Word, and he says, I don't know. He says, I'm gonna commit. I have 2 bands. He says, Don, I'm looking at. You're one, and there's this other one, and I'm not sure which one we're going to put on the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
what year was
it? Wasn't us.
Oh.
Do you know? It was Nirvana.
Oh my God!
Holy shit!
Holy.
I fucking swear, Nirvana. I was like,
you were right there with Nirvana. Oh, wow!
It's right at that time, yeah. So it was
bad timing.
So,
bad
it was
timing.
It was just one of them things. But you don't know, Matt. You know what I mean? Like, what would have happened? I often think like, what even is making it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what does it even mean? Like, I don't know if fame would have suited me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, so I much prefer this, to be honest with you. I think I have no idea. Like, I'd love to be rich, but I'm not sure if I want to be famous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I understand that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it can sound like I'm trying to pass that off as if to say, you know what I mean? I don't care. I didn't want to be famous. But it's not like that. It's genuine.
Yep.
Yeah. So then we did. Look, then what happened? With interesting story. Then from there, what happened was,
we're going to leave you hanging. Pete, you made it. You have a beautiful family. You have a beautiful career. You have beautiful music. So again, thank you for sharing with us. We had such a great time meeting Pete. So we started our Punkin' Preppy January.
Yeah.
We wish we started it earlier. And then we did was our friend Jeff was helping. He was sending us ideas and bands and people to get to know, because we wanted to play people that don't often you hear on mainstream or you haven't heard in a while, or and my music taste.
And Peter was different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He stood out.
Yep.
And so when we first met Pete, we played him on our second show, and it just blew us away. And we're just going to say shout out to Jeff for introducing us. So thank you.
Yep.
And then what we did was, for the third show, we played Rumble's video, Jake the Muss. And we asked him, we were like, you know, I was like all shy and stuff. And I said, hey, Pete, can you do a little intro for us? Because, you know, we're just winging this. We're just doing this, having a good time. And we're meeting all these great people from around the world. And, you know, I'm a little shy, and he said, of course. And he was just it was just so magical when he sent this to us. So we're going to play it
that right now, right?
Yeah, we're going to play it, and then we're going to go right into Jake the Muss.
How's it going? My name's Pete Johnson. I'm from Dundalk in Ireland, and you're going to hear a little song now from a band I used to be in 26 years ago called Rumble. The song's called Jake the Muss, and I just want to give a big shout out to my friends there on the Punk and Preppy show. Keep it going, lads. You're doing a great job. Pete Johnson, over and out.
Fist of Jake the Muss. Oh, he's a killing machine, been that way since he's 16, yeah, but he's not that bad. Keep your mouth shut and don't make him mad. Advocacy.
Oh, it's so good. I love that video. Thank you so much. And thank you for the introduction. I saved it. What happened with Jake the Muss, like it was a lyric video before lyric videos were a thing. And I just, rewatching it again, I was just, wow, you guys just are so ahead of your time. And I'm so happy you have it. And I know back then it was hard to produce videos and hard to get recordings. And I'm so thankful that you have it all. All right, so we're going to go into the next portion of the interview, and it's awesome. It's really, really good, and yeah, keep watching, guys. Thanks.
It went to our second album. We did an EP before that, and then it went to our second album, and we got signed by a Spanish record label. Dead Elvis had kind of started to peter out a bit.
Okay.
Boys got a bit fed up. Mark had started working with Muse.
Okay.
Who weren't actually famous at the time, but they were getting there.
Yeah.
Mark had said, right, I'm going off to that. And the boys from Dead Elvis kind of petered out a bit. But geez, we'd some crack. We had the crack. The crack was unbelievable. The crack was too good.
Yeah.
It was too good. So then we said, okay, we'll take this deal with this record label in Spain, and we'll go over and we'll live in Madrid and base ourselves in Madrid. Again, another amazing adventure, you know.
Yeah.
Bumped into a guy called Juan Mata, who I sent you the photograph out there recently. John, Big John, as we call him.
Mm-hmm.
Then Big John came back to Ireland. We met him in Spain, yeah. So we lived in Spain for on and off for about a year in Madrid.
I love that video of you walking around the mall or whatever that was. That is a great video.
Yeah, geez, I'm 10 stone in that. I'm 6'1". And like, I don't know, we didn't eat. It was literally just sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Somebody's gotta get me out of here. Somebody's gotta get me home. I got a feeling in my head. My stomach hurts, my head hurts. I can't decide what way next works. It's all go loud on that street.
It was you wouldn't get away with it now, let's put it that way. Yeah, so we had a great time in Madrid. Second album was that. We came back, we took Big John with us.
Okay.
He came back with us, and he was living in my flat for a year in Dundalk, and another year in Dundalk, and he slowly started to become the manager of the band.
Mm-hmm.
And then what he said was he wanted to go back to Spain, create a tour of Spain for us, which would give us enough money then to jump to the US.
Mm.
That was the plan, right? So then on his first night back, the day before his 29th birthday, he went back to Spain and fell out of a window and died, or fell off a balcony. So what I think was he was 6'6", and he was always falling. So I wasn't kind of surprised at that. You know, in one way, I wasn't surprised.
Right.
The really weird thing was we were doing some mixing, and he was on one of the songs we were mixing, on the day we found out that he died. So we were in the studio, right? And we're just about to record this song that his voice is on. We just have a Spanish voice on this song. And next thing we get the phone call to say he's dead. And literally 5 or 10 minutes later, we're trying to mix his voice. And all you have then in the studio is his voice.
Wow.
Soloed. And even the sound engineer turned around and went, "This is fucking really weird." I mean,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But,
For sure.
Pásamole, como una cañita, anda, por favor. Venga, y un mini aquí de sol y sombra para el irlandés, si eres tan amable. Salud, por Salcanud.
So, yeah, so the
And
so the
so how
sound
old were
engineer,
you at that time?
I'm about 24,
Okay.
25,
Okay.
actually. Yeah. So then what happened was I decided to go, we said, look, we didn't have a lot of money. None of us were working. So we said, look, we'll pool our money together and we'll send one of us over to the funeral to represent the band.
Yep.
Big mistake. So we really, two of us should have went. I was nominated to go over. So I went over to represent the band. That was a mistake. In hindsight, that was a mistake.
Right.
So then basically, over the period of about a month, I completely lost my mind completely. Like, I mean, I thought he was a prophet. I thought I was brokering a deal between good and evil, genuinely. I thought I could use extrasensory perception. I thought I could talk to people through my mind, which isn't a good thing when you're trying to order a pint. Let me tell you. No, you're just staring at the barman going.
Yeah.
So that then led to 2 weeks in a mental institution.
Okay.
I'm no dope, got a bucket and a rope, gonna take my time to build it. My kryptonite is borderland, your music enhances to it. Gonna take my brain and rub it in sand, paper all I got and a nice right hand to wave goodbye to suppose nice guy to spread the shine all over this land. Scratch the back of every cat and get you what you want. My Achilles heel is that I feel I suffer fools, don't talk to. So you see the value in loyalty, you don't see the value in being free from material game and the pursuit of fame. So you can turn around and say nothing, so you can turn around and say I told you so. You can turn around and say nothing, you can turn around and say I told you so. So you can turn around and say nothing. I may not want, but always find the time to stop and mingle. And if at all I sense for all, my spider sense will tingle. Cause peace is important to me, and love is important to me, and honor is important to me, and tongues is important to me. PEACELOVEHONOURDOLEORANCE. That's what it means to me to be free.
If you're listening on the album and you're suffering through any kind of mental health, please take a look at the cover now and ring the numbers on my t-shirt, or even one. Today is the World Suicide Prevention Day, and this album is dedicated to anybody who's going through a hard time.
So so come out of the loony bin and go back and we start playing gigs again. And you know, when something like that happens to you, you know, it certainly changes your perspective.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
On life, and you know, you really start to take stock. So at that stage, I met Helen and we had Tara, and I'm thinking I'm getting 26. I had a great teacher at school actually who told me that he said you can mess around in that student environment up until around 30. He says if you're hitting 30 and you find yourself still kind of no real direction, you need to be very careful, because you can end up, because you know yourself, 30 to 40 is like that.
Yeah.
20 to 30 is quick enough, but 30 to 40, like where the fuck did that even go?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you can find yourself 40 with no real, you know. So I was very interested in going back to college because I'd never gone to college. I finished kind of secondary school. I don't know what that would be the equivalent of over there, but
High school.
Probably high school. Yeah.
high school. Yeah, it's 18, finished around 18.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
High school. Yeah.
So went back to college in 26. At that stage, the band, it was, for me, like, I love the punk rock ethos, but I don't consider myself a punk rocker per se. There's a big punk culture here, probably same in over there, what you says, and it's like, you know, you're either a punk rocker or you're not. It's kind of, and I'm not into that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, we're punk rockers and that's it. And
right.
Fuck everybody else. And no, you know what? If I want to listen to Luther Vandross or Snoop Dogg,
exactly,
you know, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not all or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's only, in my opinion, and again, this is me coming from my father, there's only two types of music that's good and bad, depending on your opinion.
Sure.
Of what, you know, so it's either good or it's bad, and it could be anything.
Yep.
It doesn't. I'm not going to pigeonhole myself into one genre of music and just stay there. Like, no.
Sure.
With Rumble, it was kind of like, it was rigid. It was that way. Like, it didn't seem like there was anywhere else to go with it, you know. And the way we split up, it was just it was so strange. There was no meeting, there was no fight. We were still friends. We're friends to this day. We just stopped, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't know the reason. We just seemed to just stop. Robbie got into a relationship, a fairly heavy relationship as well. So, and it just seemed to be, and he went back to college as well. We were in the same class in college for a while, which was fucking hilarious. But I mean, I just think there was a hunger to do something else.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Maybe not with the other
directions. Yeah.
Maybe not with the other two lads. Maybe not with Kieran and with Jared, with Guggs, the drummer and the guitar player. Maybe not. Maybe they wanted to keep going. But I, even back in the Rumble days, I was always very conscious of, why am I actually doing this? Why am I here? What's the reason for this? And unknowns to myself, you know, one of the biggest things they'll tell you to do now, if you have a psychotic episode, or if you're depressed, or you're suffering from anxiety, or any of these things, is to find meaning in your life. And what I did back then, I didn't know what I thought I was doing back in the day was, I thought I was keeping myself busy by going to college, you know, after having because obviously I was still suffering from a bit of paranoia and anxiety, and, you know, I thought I'd keep myself busy, but really what I was doing was, with the benefit of hindsight now, I was actually finding meaning for myself. And that's so important. The other thing I'll say to you is, and a little trick and a little story to emphasize it, is it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. Yeah, I mean, it's so much doesn't. Like, I am the one that listens to my stuff the most. Right? I create music for me because I want to listen to the stuff I like. And I know some people, especially my young kids, they'll say, Jesus, your next album cover should be a picture of you crawling up your own hole.
Yeah, but you know what? You know, it comes across in your performance, because you can see in your eyes and your expression how you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get embarrassed. People find that hard to believe, because I'm kind of an extrovert, and you know, as I say, I speak about loving my own music and all that, like, but openly. But look, thanks.
So big shout out to Luca and Tara. You have really cool parents, and I know you already know that, even though Pete made that adorable comment. So we love you guys, and can't wait to meet you as well. And I want to just say thank you, Pete. You are so honest, and your advocacy is so important, because people do run and hide from mental illness, and we don't talk about it enough. And so, like when we played your video before, I did the USA numbers. So I'm just going to do that again real quickly. If anybody out there needs some help, please, 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 please reach out. There are people there to help you, and we need to talk. And that video will be coming out later. And what you're doing, you're reaching out to your local politicians, you're talking to young people, you're talking to everyone that needs to hear it. And so we thank you. We thank you so much. Your message is so important, and we need to keep keep talking, and thank you. It means so much, and
I think,
thank you for your honesty. That was probably very difficult to talk about, and we really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Really, it's special. It's really special. What are you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that you know, Pete became a part of our show because our show is about helping people, helping musicians, helping businesses thrive through the pandemic, and Pete is helping lots of people.
Yeah.
By sharing what he's been through. So.
Yeah, and taking care of one another, and we've learned that, you know, so much through what we've all been through collectively. So thank you. And real quickly, we're going to go to the next video, and I want to go back to Pete's kids. And so I wasn't really allowed to talk about them too much or show too many pictures. So you'll see them in a little while. Not too many, I promise. But Tara, you are an amazing talent. Your dad has shared some incredible videos with us, and I know I wasn't allowed to share them here. But maybe one day you'll give us permission, because you are just, wow, you're beautiful, and your voice is just... it's angelic. And Luca, your video skills and what you've done, taking care of your dad's music and how you portray it, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And we're going to do one that you actually did for him, and it's a premiere on the Pumpkin Preppy, because we haven't,
first time here.
Yeah, we haven't played it yet. So we're going to go into a video, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Wherever there's doubt, there is no doubt. Good things come to those who wait. So take your time, just relax. Take a glass of tomorrow's wine tonight. You'll be a long time dead. Don't lose your head. Don't confuse matters of the heart with your head. Hanging around with these punks, development up front. You ask us, we tell you we be keeping it blunt. Tongues at the front of the pack, bloodthirsty, feel the brunt of my wrath. Knows where to get bit in the ass, cause I'm a lyricist with no script. Untamed that many can deal with. Can you heat it? You need it? Do you want me to repeat it? I'm a lyricist with no script. Untamed that many can deal with. Can you heat it? You need it? Do you want me to repeat it? When you die, it's alright, you're not alone. It's happened to millions who came before you, who may have been you. Who knows what each of us already been through. So slow your pace, we're all one race. Love is the glue that will bind us together. Hanging around with these punks, development up front. You ask us, we tell you we be keeping it blunt. Tongue at the front of the pack, bloodthirsty, feel the brunt of my wrath. Knows when to get bit in the ass, cause I'm a lyricist with no script. Untamed that many can deal with. You heed it, you need it, do you want me to repeat it? I'm a lyricist with no script. Untamed that many can deal with. Can you heed it, you need it, do you want me to repeat it? When you die, it's alright. You're not alone. It's happened to millions who came before you, who may have been you. Who knows what each of us already been through. So slow your pace, we're all one race. Love is the glue that will bind us together. Hanging around with these punks, development up front. You ask us, we tell you we be keeping it blunt. Tongues at the front of the pack, bloodthirsty, feel the brunt of my wrath. knows where to get bit in the ass, cause I'm a lyricist with no script. Untamed that many can deal with. Can you heat it? You need it. Do you want me to repeat it? I'm a lyricist with no script. Untamed that many can deal with. Can you heat it? You need it. Do you want me to repeat it?
Brilliant.
That was just
Wow. Just great.
really good.
Do you want to give the disclosure now?
Yeah, folks, just so you know, Facebook has a habit of cutting us off because they think there's a song that's got a what do they call it, patent or whatever.
Well, they all have copyright.
The copyright. There it is.
But Pete gave us permission, I think.
Yeah,
You think?
I think so.
I think so.
But occasionally the bots take over and they cut us out. But please pop right back on.
Yeah.
We'll be right back on if that happens to us.
Yeah, because if we get kicked off, you might have to. So we're going to go to the next part of the interview, and let's take it from. So we're going into his next album called And Peas, and typically I would have had a video for it at the beginning and or the end of this part of the interview, but we're going to have a special song from that album at the end of the show. So I hope that you'll stick around. So that's why we went a little out of order with the videos. But there was a reason for that. So let's go to the next part.
And I just love that album. And the reason it's called And Peas was because my grandfather was after dying the year before, and I helped nurse him. He was actually an Englishman. And he used to say, for some reason, he just used to say "and peas" after everything. Like if you said like I'm going to the cinema, he'd just go "and peas." I don't know why.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He used to say, "What makes 5 beans? 1 bean, 2 beans, bean and a half bean." It's a warts and all album, but I do think it's one of the better ones that I did. But then my father passed away, and that was then when I did None of Your Jip. Really, the only good thing about that is the cover. I like the songs, but I don't like the way they were recorded, so I've never really put it up online or anything like that. But what I think I might do is, and I've always thought about this, was I might go back into the studio and re-record it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Because the songs are great, you know? Go into the studio with a proper band or something. And
Yeah.
You've got your songs, so you don't even have to write the fucking album.
Yeah.
You just have to record it properly.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely a project I'm going to do in the future. Yeah, no, the story I was going to say to you was an interest about don't being worried about anybody liking anything, because it doesn't matter if you fart into a microphone, someone's going to fucking like it, right?
Yeah.
We did a gig one time when I was in Rumble, and the support band, their van broke down, so we had no support band, and the place was packed, and people were getting a bit edgy because there was no music on, and we were like, fuck, what do we do? So he says, you know what we'll do? I says, I'll play the bass, you play the drums, we get some clothes, different clothes, put them on, we put bags over our head. We all play different instruments, and we go out and we just make stuff up on the spot.
Yeah.
Right. So we did that. No one had a clue we were Rumble. I think one of the guys wouldn't do it. I think it was Jared. I think he wouldn't do it. So it was just 3 of us, which put people off again because they didn't really know. So we did it, and it was just we were going up to the microphone going, "My dick's on fire." Whatever it was, right? And then at the end. So then that was it. That we did that. So people stopped being a little bit edgy, and then we came on as Rumble, and we did a good show and all that crack. But here's the point. Here's my point. At the end of it, about 2 or 3 people come up to me at the end, and they wanted me to sign an album. And so I signed the album, and they says, "Who's the support band?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think they were called." I don't know. Who knows? You know, the Yellow Plates or something. I don't know. And they go, "Oh, we fucking love them." So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So then they did So then what was after And Peas?
The Receptors.
Oh yeah, the Receptors.
So Pete, I took that advice because being a newer drummer and being newer, it doing gigs. I get so nervous, and it was brilliant for me. It worked out so well
It was really
because
helpful.
we just did our first gig back since COVID, and obviously COVID gave us all a new perspective anyway, but your words were really inspiring to me, to the point where I was like, you know what? He's right. It's about me. It's about enjoying what I'm doing instead of worrying about what other people are going to say, what other people are going to do, how they're going to judge me. You know, we're always going to be judged, and we need to remove that from our psyche and remove that from our self-babble, right? Our self-talk. So thank you. That was incredible advice. And I take it with me every day. And we have a gig coming up next Saturday, so today is Saturday, next Saturday. And I'm going to take it with me again. It worked. So thank you.
All right.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah. So the next video is new to us again.
Yeah.
It's called Lyrics from Helen's Phone.
Let's do it.
And this is a great video.
Yeah. Thanks, Luca.
Yeah.
You did this one too, didn't you?
I wanna see that someone is no one and no one is someone. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. Would you pass me that case, cause it's got me glasses. You always fear what you don't understand, and I don't understand what I fear, and that's grand. Sex, drugs and guacamole. A man does novena and he's very, very holy.
Images like this from the Auschwitz concentration camp have been seared into our consciousness during the 20th century and have given us a new understanding of who we are, where we've come from, and the times we live in. During the 20th century, we witnessed the atrocity.
You're hiding in plain sight, you look like shite. You might wanna go to the Roma for a bite. Shot enough to pop, running from my tap, and the whole damn town just sitting on my lap. To count to 1 billion would take me 30 years. To count all the wrinkles when you're looking at my ears. She's shaking like a mad thing, coming from the bingo. John, Paul, George, and the main man Ringo.
The original title of this session was Everything You Know Is Wrong, and I'm going to present evidence that this particular part of our common understanding is wrong. That in fact, our ancestors were far more violent than we are, that violence has been in decline for long stretches of time, and that today we are probably living in the most peaceful time in our species' existence. And also to realize the accidental contingency of your own station in life, the sense that there but for fortune go I. Well, whatever its causes, the decline of violence, I think, has profound implications. It should force us to ask not just why is there war, but also why is there peace? Not just what are we doing wrong, but also what have we been doing right? Because we have been doing something right, and it sure would be good to find out what it is. Thank you very much.
So I'm getting some of your lingo. Fair play on that. That was really good, right? Did I use it correctly? I hope so. I hope I didn't just bosh that. But we love that video. It speaks on so many levels.
It sure does.
It's wow. So I'm going to take a little break, and I just want to say thank you to Dundalk FM. They did Pete did an interview with them, and if you'd like to go listen to it, it's already uploaded on our Punk and Preppy YouTube channel, and I just put some visuals to it, but it was brilliant, and I thank you for that. And then Pete was in the media. I'm sure you saw it all over our Facebook, because I'm so proud, and thank you. We have the leader here. Here's the article.
So privileged, right?
Yes, we are so privileged.
We are.
I'm so proud to be part of Pete's life. Thank you, Pete. And then the Dundalk Argus. Yep. They also did the ad, which was This guy, so good. And then the Dundalk Democrat. And here's the article. So thank you. Really appreciate it. And shout out from Bethlehem, PA. All right, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Okay, well, the next section's about the Receptors, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a bit of a break then. No, there was Ampies, None Your Gypia. Then so I for about 2 or 3 years, I just didn't do any music at all. And I was getting my career up and going, work-wise, trying to become a manager or whatever, you know what I mean? I think I was a bit disillusioned with music as well, a little bit, you know. So for about 3 years, didn't really do anything. But I always left the guitar out. But there was times I'd walk past the guitar and I'd scour at it. I'd look at it, you bastard.
You're talking, right? Talking to you, yeah.
Yeah. So
my drums do that to me now.
So myself and Helen got backstage passes to this big huge festival in Ireland, and we ended up having we hung out with Snoop Dogg, and we hung out with Ian Brown from Stone Roses, and we just got re-inspired. Yeah. And we came back from that and we just went, and she couldn't play at the time. I just said, you know what, you're gonna have to learn how to play the bass. Let's get a drummer. I got a drummer, a female drummer, who couldn't really play. She was only learning as well. Yep. And we just practiced for a year, and then we got it up and running again. And that was brilliant. It was for about 4 years. Did some brilliant shows. But we'd kids, like the kids were only young. Like it was like we'd literally be at sound checks, and the kids would be like, we'd be giving them coloring books and markers. We'd be like, stay there. Yeah. And like you'd be in the middle of doing a sound check. They'd be like, I need to go to the toilet. This isn't what I thought rock and roll was supposed to be about. I'm just reading this book at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Better Angels of Our Nature.
Okay. Wow.
Serious book now. It's going to take me a lot. I'm halfway through it, but it's fucking brilliant. Okay. He's an American guy, and on the album Screwball, the lyrics from Helen's Phone. I don't know if you can hear a guy talking in the background.
Yes.
That's Steven Pinker.
Oh. Yeah. You had mentioned something as like a valedictorian speech, very inspiring.
Yeah.
He has clearly lays out that we are actually living in our most peaceful time in our species' existence. Everything is massively down and continues to fall. The amount of wars, the amount of poverty, like 136,000 people a day come out of extreme poverty. But you don't ever hear about it.
No, you always hear the negative.
Yeah, because people go to the negative, and the media go to the negative.
Yes.
Just so many things. I mean, it's fascinating. There's so much to be optimistic about.
Okay.
I mean, the world is getting better. Have no doubt about it. Look him up, Steven Pinker.
So he was the one who said, let's think about the things we're doing right instead of the things that we're doing
instead
wrong.
of concentrating on what we're doing wrong, because we are doing something right, and he's brilliant. So I'm going
to put that in a blanket today. I'm going to ride that. I like that.
I mean, this book is just making me so, it's just like, let me see. I'm trying to find one there. There's just so many, like, it's just graph after graph after graph after graph of what's that one? Homicide rates in the Southwest of the United States and California. They dropped from 100 per 100,000 in 1820 down to 3 in 1920.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like there's no denying that everything is getting better. So look, little sidetrack for you there, but so the Receptors, me and Helen, like, we had a great time, and we loved the Receptors, probably the peak was that little EP we did that has Smack and the Dog, and then we did you see I sent over to you the Take a Glass of Tomorrow's Wine Tonight?
Yes.
Luca did that video as well.
So good. Some of the music has like a little bit of a ska reggae vibe to it too. I like the drum beats and everything.
Helen is like, she class herself as a ska woman. You know what I mean? So she's really ska. But
you can hear that influence.
Yeah. So then after Receptors finished, what happened with us was one day we played a gig. It was about 20 people there. It was a bit shit, to be honest. We were all day running around with the kids, organizing babysitters, collecting the babysitter, setting the kids down, giving them coloring books during the sound check. Got home, we were on the stage, we were wrecked. We were looking at each other just halfway through the gig, kind of going, "Oh God, I know what I mean." We got home, and Helen just turned around to me and said, "No, I don't want to do this anymore." Yeah. And I said, "Look, fair enough. Let's just we leave it." That was a great little journey.
Yep.
It was a perfect journey. Thank you for doing that. I know it was probably hard. It was probably hard on the family. And Helen, you are a badass bass player. I hope you're still playing around and enjoying it, and you're an incredible songwriter.
You are. And speaking of badass, this might be my favorite of all.
Really?
Yeah, this might be my favorite, and
it's up there for sure.
And of course, Helen wrote it, so I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
sorry, Pete.
It's a great story. So,
but what an entertainer you are, Pete. This is just
we love this
video.
So you guys enjoy.
Yep.
My teeth itch. I don't like it, you're way too kitsch. Who the hell do you think you're wrecking my balls just because you coked up smacking the dog? No matter if you're junkie, no matter if you spend your time spanking on a monkey, the Grim Reaper's nose is caked in snow. It starts off with arrogance and ends in submission and a policy. I don't like it, it makes my teeth itch. I don't like it, the way too kitsch. Who the hell do you think you're wrecking my balls just because you coked up smacking the dog? as it's day. Listen to me, son. Walk away. Where the hell did it go? Wreck my balls just because you coked up smacking the dog. No matter if you're rich, no matter if you dig the ditch, no matter if you're skinny or chunky, no matter if you spank the monkey, the Grim Reaper's nose is caked in snow. It starts off with arrogance and ends in submission and a wall of sin. I don't like it, it makes my teeth itch. I don't like it, you're way too kitsch. Where the hell did it go? Wreck my balls just because you coked up smacking the dog. Oh!
Yeah. Can you tell we like that one? We like them all, but
Yay, Pete.
so
Yay,
good.
Helen.
Say yay, Helen. Oh, so good. See, if that guy wasn't smacking the dog, you wouldn't have a song.
That's right.
Always have those moments,
I
right?
think they met this guy in a bar, right?
Yeah, that's what happened. And Scott, who's watching, Scott Wirtz, I wrote a song, and we talked about this in our interview. Scott, I'm sorry it was cut because it was a little raunchy, but I wrote a song called Sticky Kitty, and Sticky Kitty creator is watching. So love you, Scott, and thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in. We're having such a good time, and
as Pete says, you can make a song about anything.
you
right?
can, right? You can make. Oh, we didn't get to that part yet. So we're gonna move on to the next part of our interview, and we'll check back in right after.
All right.
One of the things that I love as well about, because I've been involved in music pre the internet and after the internet, I absolutely love the fact that you can put things up, you can record videos, put things on the internet, and they're there for all time.
Yeah.
That's something we didn't have, say, back in the works and even in the Rumble days. You know,
Right.
I love that. So then I said, right, I want to write an album, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and write with nothing in mind, like as in no genre. Just go into a guy that I know gave me the top of his pub. And I used to go there on a Wednesday night and a Saturday for about 2 to 3 hours. And I just drum the guitar, sing. The first thing that came into my head, I wrote about, I'd say, near to 100 songs.
Wow.
And I just whittled them all down into which became Get On With It.
Yep.
Which it shocked a lot of the people who kind of would be into the music, into my stuff, because it's not there's a little bit of punk rock edge to it, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it's a little bit more funky, you know.
Yep.
I played everything on that album, and apart from obviously the drums are just a drum machine, but there's something about that album that I personally really love, because it's, talk about being creative. It was just, it took me 2 years. I did that every Wednesday and Saturday for 2 years religiously.
Wow.
And it's just, I don't know. There's something about that album that for me, and funny enough, like my kids give me an awful hard time. Like they think I'm shit, but they like that album. They like that.
They like that one.
A lot of people who would normally be into my music didn't particularly like that album,
Okay.
but the kids love it, you know. Now of course, as I said to you before, I wouldn't have released it if I didn't like it. Well, apart from the one with None of Your Jip, but yeah. So I mean, there's loads of songs on that I absolutely love, and then we are big football fans.
Okay.
Now, soccer.
Yep.
We're big soccer fans. So Irish people are massively into sport and music.
Okay.
everybody. Like, there's so many musicians, there's so many bands. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we're into everybody is into music and sport. Everybody, you know. Helen's dad was a professional soccer player, and he captained our local town here, Dundalk, who did quite well and nearly got into the Champions League, which was it's a big, huge competition in Europe. But so I decided I'd write a song for the football team, and we did a video for that, which I really like as well.
Okay.
So look, I love that album. I can't remember how many copies of it we sold, about 1,000 copies of it. But yeah, it was something that I personally am very proud of it because of the process of how it was created. Yeah, so
years is dedication to every Wednesday and Saturday. That's
it.
A lot of work. And I mean, 100 songs so these are the ones that you decided out of 100 songs. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then like my boss, like I work for a charity, so it's a volunteer. My boss are volunteers, and at the time one of my boss died, and I absolutely adored him. He's only and he died on a tragic accident in his farm. And God, you're probably thinking everybody Peter comes into contact with dies here in a tragic accident. This could be bad for your health, can I just tell you? But one of the songs on it's called Angels, but it's a bit like it's not really my or it's called Mock, M-O-C.
Okay.
But the chorus of it is
He'll
put angels to the test.
Yeah.
But that's about him, that song.
Okay.
Heaven will not know quite just what to do when the big man meets you and your smile beams straight through, and the people only knew there can be no eternal rest, even without a beating chest. You put angels to the test. Angels to the test.
But I still have flashbacks, like, because I had this whole floor. It was like a massive big dance hall, and like every Wednesday and Saturday I could just walk around it. And when I wrote that song for him especially, like the hairs would be standing on my arm. I just like, it was like I was connected to something else. Like I'm not really a religious person, but it was definitely something going on.
Spiritual. Definitely.
It felt like that, you know.
Yeah.
And it was at that. So again, going back to my mental health issues, what I'd started to do with the mental health issues, I started to not tell anybody about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to kind of self-stigmatize, which brought my own anxiety up even more. And I just, like, when I started a new job, I wouldn't tell anyone. I didn't want anybody to know. And that's quite strange for me because I'm quite an extrovert.
Right.
Yeah.
And then actually on that album, if you are playing, there's a song I love off that album called I don't know if you've heard it, Hard Men it's called.
Okay.
And the video for that, I think I've sent it on to you, the link on to you, but there's an old guy in the video dancing beside me, and he's a really cool guy. He's my next door neighbor, but he passed away 2 years ago, unfortunately. But me and him became like best mates. Like, it was so weird. Like, I had a best mate who was 80 at one stage, you know. But it was cool. And then to get him in the video, that was literally just about 6 months before he died.
Wow.
He was in the video, so it was really nice to do that. So
Another brilliant video.
And I love Luca in there. It was awesome.
So cute. I just love all the little scenes or the extras, right? The family and the friends, and it's so good.
Nice.
Yay. All right, what are we up to?
What are we up to?
Oh.
We're up to Pete had a brief stint in the movie career.
Yes. He did a movie, you guys. Did you know this? It's so cool. And Pete, don't be mad at me. I took a clip from it, so don't get mad at me, all right?
And you also said that you did a movie, right? So.
Oh yeah. So the movie was just a little short film. So a friend of mine, he wanted to get into the film business, so he took this project on himself. He spent a lot of money. Alan Markey is his name, and he spent a lot of money. So it was a full budget. Like we had like a full camera crew, sound engineers, a full makeup artist. It was the same makeup artist that did the Vikings actually that was doing the makeup. So it was really professionally done. Like, you know, I've always wanted to try and do a bit of acting. No more.
No.
No more acting for Peter. It was, Jesus Christ, it's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. Like, I mean, it was just terrifying and horrible, and I was shit at it.
Really? I can't imagine. I would think that you would be really good.
I thought I'd be really good at it. Just shows you. No, I've got a lot more credit in the bank now for actors, because I mean, like, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. It's all about not really doing too much.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
There was one scene I was doing, and Alan, the director, just kept saying to me, no, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do it again. So I did it again, and he's like, no, do it again. And so this was going on for about 9 or 10 times, and then eventually I just did it the exact same way, and he went, yeah, that's it. Like, that was exactly the fucking same as the last one. I mean, Jesus. So but anyway, yeah, so the deal with him was he could use my house, use my street. That was all set on my street. It's a nice little short film. It's called Fat Freddy's Drop. It's a little short film. It's nice. And he used my street, my house for a base. And then in exchange, he made the video to the town, the song of Get On With It. So he made that video all about the Dundalk Football Club.
Sweet.
So he made that video for me for well, like, it was, you know,
yeah,
for a favor. So it was cool, but it was a great experience.
Walking up the Carrick Road to the Lily White Lounge, always, where everybody's sound. They won't kick us when we're down. We can always turn around. It has to be the town.
I definitely wouldn't do it again.
So do you have it yet, or to see it?
Yeah, I'll send you the link on it.
That would be
Send us
awesome.
the link. We'd love to see it.
I'll send you the link on it. It's nice. It's about, I think it's about 8 or 9 minutes long. It's well worth it. It's a quirky little story.
Awesome.
You know?
We love
so yeah, I'll send you the link on.
All right. Yeah, fine. You sure? Looked like there was a Mexican standoff happening over there at one stage.
No, it was just an argument with last goal. It's grand.
I suppose that's all part and parcel of it.
Yeah, well, I think I'll leave the football for tomorrow. It's not really my thing, you know.
That's typical.
What's typical?
Look, Eric, you know, you can't just lock yourself away from reality making silly little goldfish videos for the rest of your life.
Well, you know all about running away from your problems, wouldn't you?
Get out of my sight, Eric, before I do something I regret.
I want to see another movie.
I thought it was pretty good.
I want another movie.
It was good.
It's so good. And I have to say that the film is really cute. It's really good movie. I'll put the link on when I upload this to YouTube, and I'll put the link on for the movie, because unless Pete says no, because he's not happy with it. I loved it. We loved it. It was adorable. It was so cute, and the story's amazing. So good. All right, what are we up to?
All right.
We know where we're at.
So, Screwball. Here we
Oh,
go.
here we go with Screwball.
So with Screwball, I said, right, you know what? I'm going to go back to what I can do quite quickly. Like, Screwball was written in 8 months.
Wow.
And like, I can that kind of a format of a song be going back to, because of the Works, Rumble, all of those bands and the Mental for Rehearsal I did. I can write a song like that very, very quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not easy, but it was a lot easier than the previous album.
Okay.
Whereas the previous album was like I was trying to search for some different sound or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Screwball was written quite, and again I played everything on it.
I was curious. I thought you probably did.
Yeah, apart from the drums.
Okay.
The drummer on that album is one of the best in the world.
I was commenting about the drums. I was curious. I wanted to ask if you played the drums on it, because they're brilliant. They're really good.
I wouldn't be able. I'm not that level. I'm a decent drummer, and actually on my next album that I've kind of started to write already now, I'm going to try and play the drums on it. There's an old saying, well, Joe Strummer who said it, a band is only as good as their drummer. So the pressure's on, Dorothy.
I'm not good.
Yes, she is.
But I don't care. I don't care that I'm not good. I have fun, and I do the best I can. And
from what I saw, I thought you were very good.
He's very
thank
good.
you. Thank you. I'm not fancy. I was a dancer, so I know how to keep right. I know how to keep a beat, and that's good.
Don't need to be fancy.
Dorothy,
But no, so
I don't sell myself.
well, you see that album Screwball. So that was all recorded with a click track. There was no drums on it, right?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Colin came in. Colin Barrett is his name. Now, I'll tell you how good he was. When he was 17, he was taken over to the US by the lead singer of Rancid, who runs that record label over there. But the lead singer took him over when he was 17 to play drums on a few things.
Wow.
He's one of the best in the world. So the Screwball was all recorded, just a click track.
Yep.
He came in, he listened to the entire album once, and then he put the drums down in one take.
Wow.
And I shit you not.
Wow.
On a different level.
Wow.
It take a man with a lovely life, got 3 kids and a gorgeous wife, has to work 60 hours a week to bust his balls just to stay on his feet. But the genie he was sold had something impure. When the ticker stops ticking, then there ain't no cure. A lot of broken hearts and a spin in a minute. When you're under the ground, you never look so skinny. Coca up the nose, Coca up the nose, Coca up the nose,
The Screwball came from Paddy, who's my next door neighbor, who passed away, as I told you about before, who's in that video. He came up with the title before he died.
Wow.
He said, "You know what you need to?" He said, "You know what you need to call your next album? Screwball, because you're a screwball." So, so anyway, he come up with the name of it. But what was interesting about that song is then you end up like the whole album is about mental health issues, you know, and then you end up with a song that means nothing, that's completely chaotic, that has the title of Screwball, and then it just all makes sense, because why would it make sense? Like, because it's a crazy song, yeah. So so look on the album then, so you have I think it's I as I said to you before, I played virtually everything on it. Now Dundalk Grant, he's the guy that I'm doing a new album with. We've a new band called just me and him, and we're called The Violent Mood Swing. And we've the studio booked for September. We've an album written, and we're going to go in. It's just like Motorhead stuff.
Wow.
So look forward to that. So
awesome.
So yeah, the first I think the first 9 or 10 songs on the album are all in the studio. I did everything on them in the studio. And as I said, Dundalk did put a couple of leads in there, like the Spider-Man. You know the Spider-Man thing?
Yes.
That's him. That's him playing that on the guitar. So, and then we set up in here in the kitchen, for the live kitchen video.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted those songs, those 2 live songs, then to go on the end of the album, or to be on the album, shouldn't say, but live. So that's Robbie, obviously from Rumble and RP3000 on bass. Dundalk is the guy standing beside the fridge with the mask.
Okay.
Before we knew what masks were. And then you have Colin Barrell, who's the guy I was telling you about before, one of the best drummers in actual universe on the drums, and then obviously myself on the guitar and singing. But it was one take. The guy that comes in doing the boxing at the end.
Yes.
Like they could make a movie out of his life story. Like he should have been world champion. Like, you know, he was some boxer. He was the army world champion at one stage. He should have went to the Olympics, but there's a whole backstory to all of that. So that was just one take, and I just said, look, whatever comes out, warts and all, that's going to be the video, the kitchen video, like, you know. So I was actually delighted with the way it came out.
It came out
yeah,
great.
I loved it.
We when we watched it, we were still in lockdown as well. So we, like, as soon as the boxer came out, we got up and started dancing.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah,
boxer.
yeah.
We were dancing. It was fun.
Oh yeah, it is. It's good crack. And then there's 2 songs on it on the back. State, which is a state penitentiary. Penitentiary. That is an absolute outline of every single thing that happened to me from a mental health point of view, and what I went through when I went through my breakdown, that I explained to you all before. So that song is all about that journey of, you know, not sleeping for 12 days and all that kind of crack, you know. So
different persons in the mirror looking back at me. The radio just spoke on music ESP. I need to fight the battle between love and hate. I need to settle down cause I'm in a state. Whoa, whoa. Won't somebody save me? I think I'm going crazy, losing my mind.
And that song, and then the one after called Change, the 2 of those were recorded 16 years ago.
I had read that in the article you had sent. Yes.
Yeah,
wow.
So those 2 songs, I started an album and I had no money to finish it. Or that was that's Screwball then in a nutshell, if you like, you know.
Love it.
Nice.
And the very last song, which is the song about Mickey Kelly, who's the boxer, like they call him Lights Out Kelly. That's his name.
Yes.
Lights out Kelly, lights out Kelly.
That was a song I did about 3 or 4 years ago, when Mickey just rang me out of the blue and he said, look, I'm fighting over in Wales in next week. Would you be able to put something together for me, a song, quickly? So we put that one together in the studio. There was a guy called Kevin playing the flute. Oh my God, he's such a good flute player. And then it was, so I said, I had that song anyway done. So I said, I'll stick that on the end of the album. I kind of like the song anyway. So that made up the whole album.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of thrown together, like, do you know what I mean? You've got this kind of a studio bit, then you have the live bit, then you have the 2 songs from.
It goes so well together, though. It really does.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I obviously am very proud of it too.
It's a phenomenal album. And after practice, couple months ago, I played it for our band, Resting Punk Face. We were hanging out after a rehearsal, and we were all captivated. It's absolutely phenomenal.
And this was the first song we heard of Pete's, and God, we instantly fell in love with him because of this song. So
absolutely, and thanks again to Jeff for introducing us.
So let's play We Need to Talk.
Here we go. We need to talk, so let's have a sit down. My mental health is close to a meltdown. We need to talk. We need to talk, so sit me down. When these complications come around.
Why do I want to stay out so late? Is it cause I have too much on my plate? Or maybe not enough, is it why I feel rough? Constantly question myself is tough. Don't let your head get like a messy room. Called so sad before the green fume. Trouble and strife can put you to the test, but don't let the mind maze make your deathbed. Make the move from negative to positive. Make the move so you can start to live. Maybe taking a dive is all you think you can find, but you can take a dive of a different kind. Make the move from negative to positive. Make the move so you can start to live. Maybe taking a dive is all you think you can find, but you can take a dive of a different kind.
We need to talk, so let's have a sit down. My mental health is close to a meltdown. We need to talk. We need to talk, so sit me down. When these complications come around.
Go on, Pete, tell them what to do.
Come into the light, out of the dark.
Out and down.
Stop drinking cans in the house and the park.
Look at that now.
Come into the light, out of the dark. Stop drinking cans in the house and the park.
Get too much sometimes, but don't forget, it's never that much.
We need to talk, so let's have a sit down. My mental health is close to a meltdown. We need to talk. We need to talk, so sit me down. When these complications come around.
It's okay to feel loopy, feeling loopy means you're not. Why would you pick your brain when you wouldn't pick your snots? Depression is a questionable way to be, but it can come to you and it's come to me. Am I okay or am I not well? I feel like an egg, I'm cracking my own shell. Is my brain fried or has it been poached? I need to make the move so I can be coached. Won't you open up your goblet and outlet it, man? Be it to a stranger or be it to a friend. People understand it doesn't make you a tout. Why would you sit with that poison when you can't let it out?
We need to talk, so let's have a sit down. My mental health is close to a meltdown. We need to talk. We need to talk, so sit me down. When these complications come around.
You can't be wasting your time.
What about them Samaritans? Are they any good?
Samaritans, excellent.
We need to talk, so let's have a sit down. My mental health is close to a meltdown. We need to talk. We need to talk, so sit me down. When these complications come around.
Of course, it does.
Or your father or whoever.
Once you feel comfortable talking to someone, you're probably going to be better off for it.
Thank you again, Pete. You're doing such a good thing. We're really, 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 really proud of you. And I know it probably wasn't easy. And you're helping so many people, including, my own daughter. My daughter's suffering too. So thank you.
Let's put those numbers up one more time.
Let's do American numbers real quick. Anybody needs any help, here you go. And reach out. We're here. We're listening. We hear you. And let's make people better. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for doing that.
So
I love that video. And Selena, those glasses are the best glasses ever. you know what, Pete, when you come visit, well, we're going to visit you too. I want to try those glasses on.
So do I.
Please. Is that okay? I really, really, really want to.
All right. So we're going to go into the world of Peter's songmaking.
How Pete writes, and so I have to say real quick before we go into this section, Preppy over here has been driving me crazy with that song, Pete. He hasn't stopped singing it for probably last 24 hours, and I love it, but Preppy's doing it too much.
Well, and you're all going to hear this song now. So
it's good. It's a great song. It's just when Preppy's singing it over and over again.
The way I write songs, and what I was thinking doing, is I will take the guitar here.
Awesome.
And show you a few things if you can see. So, well, when I'm writing songs anyway, I can write in a few different chords. So I'm either E, I'm either B, and then I'm sometimes G, right? Or F sharp. They're kind of they're all the notes that I'll write in because my voice sings well in those notes. Okay. Occasionally I'll sing a song in a different chord or different key, but normally it's always those.
Okay.
The chord I love is so you've got minor. So say that we take B, and then we lift off that finger. That's minor. So that's B minor. But what I do, and I use it in nearly every song, and I'm telling you a lot of me tricks now, but I'm only doing it because I'm getting older.
Guitar, so I can't steal your tricks.
We promise won't tell anyone.
Well, if there's anybody watching this now when it goes out, they'll know all my tricks, so there'll be loads of songs with these chords in it. But this is my chord, my kind of go-to chord a lot, and it's a minor seventh. So what you do is you're basically just using two fingers, and the whole thing sounds right. And it's a great little chord to put in just for a little bump if you want a little bump, So I mean, what I'm doing then as well is I'll if I have a subject for a song, I can always kind of write it a little bit quicker. Definitely get the chorus. So like if you're talking about sometimes as well, if you're just looking at something, you can get a lyric, and I'll take you through a bit of that now in a second. But so we've got punk and preppy, right? So first things coming into my head is punk and preppy. So it needs to be punk and preppy. It needs to be like that. So I mean, a very straightforward and easy just run is just, that punk and preppy. There you go, punk and preppy. So if we use that chord B, because I like B, and then if we use my little trick just on the one up, you can see what we can kind of come up with something maybe. Let me see. So I like that, kind of like that. What do we think? She's punk. He's preppy. They like to eat spaghetti. She's punk. He's preppy. They never will forget me. Punk and preppy, punk and preppy, punk and preppy. Show. Punk and preppy, punk and preppy, punk and preppy. Show. Punk and preppy, punk and preppy, punk and preppy. Show. She's punk. He's preppy. So that's all you need.
Very good.
So that's just off the cuff kind of a quick example of how you can write a song. But then all you need is lyrics. So you have there now, you've got a chorus, you've got the guts of a verse, you just need some good lyrics and maybe a middle eight with some loud guitar, and off you go. So on lyric writing, he's obviously like me, like the album Screwball.
Yes.
So the song Screwball.
Yep.
Well, so I was actually sitting in this exact spot here when I was writing that song, right? And I said, okay, had very similar like that. had the idea for the riff for the verse, and I had the idea for the chorus. I just needed the lyrics, and I was struggling a little bit. So I started looking around, and then Helen loves cutting things out of the paper and sticking them on the wall, right? So we come over here. I show you this. So I don't know if you can see this. See that picture?
Yeah.
Yes, the bear.
Yeah, a bear, right?
Yeah.
A bear falling out of a tree, yeah?
There's a bear in the air.
And you see this? Spock, Dr. Spock, right? And then you see this picture here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says psychological warfare, April 13, 1985, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about my favorite team, Manchester United. And then we have Sunflower here, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a model of Roy Keane, who's a famous football player, Irish football player here, okay?
Okay.
So, I'm sitting here, and it said, and I just go, there's a bear in the air, psychological warfare, April 13, 1985, phases of stun, flowers of sun, a model of Roy Keane knows what's on my mind.
Awesome.
There you have it.
A bigger loot. Where did you root? Only G. Wilder knows what's on my mind. There's a bear in the air. Psychological warfare. April 13, 1985.
You can take literally a song out of absolutely anything, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to make sense.
Yep.
Because the weird thing about songs is once you put the lyrics down, no matter what the lyrics are, someone will take meaning out of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I find that myself even with my own songs. I'll write the song, and like it absolutely means completely nothing. And then at the end of it, you go, my God, that's about photosynthesis. I don't know, you know what I mean? That's about I don't know, some heavy topic or something. That's about Buddhism, and I didn't even realize it, you know. So look, that's kind of how you go about writing songs. So that's how I do it anyway.
So don't steal Pete's secrets, you guys.
And I do have to say, Pete, that I have added some verses to that song, Punk and Preppy.
He has, because we were getting a little stressed before the show.
She's punk. I'm Preppy. I drive her crazy.
No, there was other ones too. That's the modified, very nice one. Yeah. So, yeah, he was kind of annoying me with your song today, but
there it is.
That's marriage. That's Punk and Preppy. So the great thing about Punk and Preppy, it's funny. I'll tell you really quickly where the name came from. It was probably about 15 years ago. Matt and I were hanging out one of our favorite Irish bars, kind of a weird coincidence, back where we used to live in Lebanon Township, New Jersey, and Finagle's. And you actually had the Finagle's shirt on when we were doing the interview. So this wasn't planned, this whole part. So it's kind of cool. So I had, of course, my plaid red pants on, and the our favorite bartender said, "Hey, you guys look so cute. I want to take a picture of you." And he was in his button-down white shirt with his little khaki shorts, right? And his little loafers, whatever he was wearing. And we took a picture. And when I saw it, I said, look, we look like Punk and Preppy. And who knew that we were going to use Punk and Preppy all these years later? So how cool. And it's great. Ooh, something just banged up upstairs.
Fireworks
outside. Fireworks are happening because it's Music Fest here. So sorry, I got a little scared. So we're going to go into the next section of our interview. But first, we want to do a shout out to the lockup, and you'll see in a little bit. So the visitors are playing during this, but we want to say hi to you guys, and I would love a tour. Maybe, I don't know, sing a little bit and do something when we come over, because you guys rock. And here's their promo.
And
But so that then myself and Robbie.
Yep.
So Robbie is my dear friend. We are best friends. He's the godfather of my children. Me and him are just like we're probably closer than brothers.
Yep.
In a lot of ways, you know. But he so we were always talking about doing something with electronics, and kind of just shaking things up and just being a really bit crazy and a bit experimental and stuff like that. So that's brought us to RP 3000 now.
Yep.
I fucking love it. I love it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We sing "Don't Fuck with My Wife" every day.
God.
Every day. I kid you not. Every day we go, "Oh my God."
Like it's
Look at those legs. Oh my.
Every day there's something. It's like, oh my God.
Look at those feet. Oh my. Look at those legs. Oh my. Look at those hips. Oh my. Look at those thighs. Oh my.
You. I don't know if your ears are ringing.
Yeah.
You are
But
being
they're big enough.
we are singing you on a regular. It's not necessarily that song. It's one of your songs.
Yeah.
We are singing every day,
Yeah.
every day, and back and forth too. It's hysterical. We adore you. You are sung in this house all the time.
You're a staple in this household.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but
Oh, it's great. It's a great thing. We think that music's phenomenal. It's so good.
we have an album ready to go now.
Mm.
An album of songs ready to go.
I can't wait.
Well recorded, and I just want that song that I sent over to you, and that one song that I sent over you, "Feed the Love."
So good.
We just want to record the video for that, and then launch that, and then we'll probably do an album on the back of that, like, you know.
Inside every man, there are two fighting wolves. One is full of greed and hate, other's full of kindness and love. Who win the fight? Who win the fight? The one you feed. Feed the love, feed the love, got to feed the love. The power's in your hands. When the push comes to shove, feed the love, feed the love, got to feed the love. The power's in your hands.
So today we're going into the studio with RP 3000. Robbie's actually in there now and getting ready.
Tell him we said hi.
Yep.
Yeah, I will of course. And so he's in there getting ready. As I said, we're going to do 3 tunes. We're doing one where I don't play the guitar. And I haven't done that for years, so I'm looking forward to that. So I can kind of move a bit, do my Iggy Pop, pull my Iggy Pop shapes. Although, you know, I'm getting older now, you have to be careful I don't put me back out.
Yeah. We know.
But I saw Iggy Pop when he was 54.
Oh.
He played in Dublin, and I went to see him, and my goodness, he is. Have you ever seen him live?
I have not.
No, I have not
it's
either.
funny, Resting Punk Face just we learned "Wanna Be Your Dog" yesterday. We were playing that yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And it's coming out great. We love it. But no, I've never had the opportunity to see him live.
Well, he is an animal. He's an absolute, and at one stage he was louder than the band with the stuff he was breaking up.
Wow.
He tore all the lights. He tore them all down.
Wow.
You know the mixing desk at the side of the stage. That was broken in about 5 minutes. He had that in bits. He ripped up the carpet from the stage.
Wow.
He literally ripped the carpet up.
Holy moly.
Right?
That must have been a hefty bill.
I had him in about 4 or 5 different headlocks. He jumped into the crowd, I don't know how many times, maybe 50, 60 times he jumped into the crowd. And I'm an Iggy Pop fanatic. So when he came out, I lost my shit completely. Like, I had a Rumble album, and I had written on the Rumble album, Iggy, play, here's our song, or here's our band. And at once he kept coming over and tormenting me, kind of trying to take it, but then he never take it, And then at one stage he just come over, whipped it out of my hand, threw it on the ground, and started jumping up and down on it. And I was like, yeah, Iggy's jumping on the album. So then he started playing. Yeah, then he started playing The Passenger. And so he's playing The Passenger anyway. And then he goes, why doesn't anybody get up on the fucking stage? So he grabs my hand, pulls me out of the crowd, hands me the mic. I get to sing The Passenger.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was just, it was unreal. And
do you have tape of
I
that?
was gonna say, do you have video of that?
It was not like it's 1990, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Early 90s, like.
Boy, that'd be something to see,
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think I did say. I think there's an article in one of the articles I sent you over about it actually.
Okay.
But it was just.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was. So yeah, I got to meet. Well, I wouldn't really say that I got to meet Iggy Pop. But myself and Helen got to meet Joe Strummer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We pretended we were his agents for his next show in Belfast. He was playing in Dublin, so we went to see him, and then we stayed around and we were like, we need to see Joe. He's we were like, the gig might be on tomorrow in Belfast, and we need to see him today, right now. And a similar thing had happened to the Iggy Pop, only not as much, but he came down with the microphone at one stage, and I got to sing a little bit of Straight to Hell during that gig. And then the guitar player came out and goes, oh, you're the guy that was singing it. And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, come on. And next thing, we were walking through corridors and everything, and then right in front was Nick. He's Joe Strummer and Iggy Pop are my two big guys I absolutely adore, right in front of us. And Helen loves Joe Strummer, right in front of us. There he is, Joe Strummer, and you're kind of like going, Joe Strummer. He goes, oh, how's it going? He says, here, do you want a can out of the fridge? He gave the can to Helen, and she was shaking that much she couldn't even open the can.
That's so cute. Aww.
So he said, look, help yourselves.
When we meet you.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, oh.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. The other way around, maybe.
Oh, no, we love you.
We tell everybody about you. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
We're very good. Honest to God. It's great. No, look, I mean, honest to God, you're like, you're humbling me beyond humble.
No.
I can come across as a cocky prick, but I'm actually not really inside.
You don't come across.
You don't come across that way at all. No, you don't.
But
not so far anyway. Not so far anyway.
Not so far. Yeah. Well, listen. Before I go, as I said, we're going in to do the songs today with RP 3000, and I want to show you what myself and Robbie are going to be wearing before I go. I'll just give me a quick costume change.
Oh,
yes!
Yay!
How do I look?
Awesome!
You look so handsome! Yay!
Looks great.
Myself and Robbie's wearing it as well.
Oh my gosh!
We're going to wear it for the 3 songs.
You guys rock.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so sending you all the love in the world and all that crap.
Right back.
So there we go.
The shirts look great, actually, the way you have it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
At the top.
Yeah.
My lovely jacket from Second Hand.
That jacket. That
jacket's cool. I love what's that? It looks like a sword, right?
That there is a toothpick. That's from Barcelona.
Cool.
Really neat.
Yeah, last time we were in Barcelona, I bought a load of toothpicks when I was drunk. And I was like, what am I going to do with these bloody tooth? And I went, oh, look, nice one to make like a little badge.
I love our new friendship. You know, the one good thing about COVID, we got to meet. You know, so
no, it's really cool. It's really nice. We'll keep up the communication, Sherlock. So thank you so much for this. I mean, really, really cool. I can't wait to see the show he's put together for me. So I'm really thank you.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it and sharing.
No, and it's great to have new friends, and I can't wait to come over and we'll have some crack when we come over.
Awesome. That sounds great. That's great.
Okay. Listen, guys.
Bye.
Take it easy. Mind yourself. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.
And you can check us out on rp3000.com or Facebook or any of that malarkey. And if you really, really want to get close and personal, you can call around to Robbie's house in Market Street. Good man, Robbie.
We're not out yet.
No, we're not.
Hey, Robbie, thank you so much. Your collaboration with Peter is brilliant, and I love your friendship and the whole. I can't wait to meet you in person, right? Because you're gonna come to the States, and we're gonna come see you too, and just wow.
And so our next video is a premiere, isn't it?
It is. So the shirts that they were wearing, and they were going into the studio after our interview. We have the exclusive and the incredible privilege to highlight and air the video that was performed in the lockup. We did the promo earlier. The beautiful thing about this is you can see it already on their YouTube channel, but we got to air it live first. So thank you.
Before we do, are we coming back in?
We are coming back in. We have a couple more things to go through, so don't leave. Right? And it sounded like it was over, right? It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but I just want to say, Robbie, you rock.
Yeah.
So and we love you too.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh,
we can't wait to hang with you.
And we can't wait to show this video. So here we go.
So here's the exclusive RP3000 with Reality.
From the safety information, Jesus and the Holy Ghost, a lovely family Sunday roast. None of us are really free.
This is how reality. 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 What time we get to Barcelona? Alcohol, it's like it owns you. Cigarettes, duty free. This is my reality. Back it to the left. Back it to the right. Buckle up your belts and hold on fucking tight. Back it to the left. Back it to the right. Buckle up your belts and hold on fucking tight. Back it to the left. Back it to the right. Buckle up your belts and hold on fucking tight. Back it to the left. Back it to the right. Buckle up your belt and hold on fucking tight. Reality. Reality. Reality.
Gorgeous. Wow, visually, and wow, the sound, and to see you be able to do your thing without the guitar, and of course wearing those resting punk face shirts didn't hurt either.
No, it certainly did not.
Pedro, that was the nicest thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pedro. That was really
If you
nice.
go to the beginning that I'm going to edit out, we were deers and like total deers in headlights. We're like, hi guys, we're on 7 and we don't know how to do the show because there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think it's probably because we hadn't drank enough yet.
Yeah, we didn't have enough booze in us. But we were so nervous, and so when I put it up on YouTube, I might be editing the beginning out a little bit. Where our banter was not on point today. It was not on point. We just,
just a little off.
Just a little bit, but because we were so nervous, and we got good sleep, and we didn't stay out too late, even though we look a wreck right now.
Well, it's just a thrill to honor Pete. So
absolutely. So we have 2 more things to do, and don't leave, because it's actually probably I'm going to say it's the most important part of our show is the ending.
Yes.
And then we're going to do a little clip of Pete. It's not a blooper, but it's so cute. I had to put it in, and then we're going to go into our special and Peas song that I said please stick around for, that we're going to play at the end. And then I also tribute, right? I don't want to talk about it too much, but if you guys know Pete's dad, he sings on and Peas, and we're going to play that at the end, which it's really important because I know Marie is missed. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Pete. Thank you to all your bandmates. Thank you to your family. Thank you for everyone who tuned in.
Yeah, thank you.
This was an honor
us.
and a privilege. And I can't say enough. I'm so grateful and so thankful to know you. And yeah, peace out, you guys.
What you are doing is brilliant. Fair play to you. Now I'm fucking impressed, I have to say. It's so easy to just sit in your hole and do nothing. And I'm really impressed with you guys. Honest to God, like it's to be able to do what you do, create and support local artists and all that. That's great. But the most thing that impresses me is that you're just doing things. It's so easy to do nothing.
1, 2, 3, 4. You know that I'm not the only one, not the only one in your life. So many times I would see you around with somebody else, but all I need is your sweet love, your love, sweet love. Anytime, any place, it's all I need is your sweet love, your love, sweet love is all I need. Know that I always wanted you, no one else in the world would do. And you know that I always tried my best. I thought we stood the time and test, but all I need is your sweet love, your love, sweet love. Anytime, any place, yes, all I need is your sweet love, your love, sweet love is all I need. But all I need is your sweet love, your love, sweet love. Anytime, any place, it's all I need is your sweet love, your love, sweet love is all I need. Your love, sweet love is all I